You know that if you're a serious coder who desires to build a production application, you know that we rarely use Microsoft Access for a backend to your database. Most of the time, you'll be linking to SQL Server, Oracle, maybe Teradata, or some other backend. But by default, Access doesn't allow you to connect to them. Access libraries give you a whole suite of additional tools to expand the functionality of your database, including linking to other datasets. So let's get started. So there's three concepts that you really need to know about libraries. First, how to find the libraries. Second, understand what the default libraries are that Access wants to connect you to. And then there's a missing library that I think is really critical for building a database like you would really want to for a production set. So first, how to find the libraries. Basically, when we want to open them up, we need to get into the Visual Basic Editor. And after we're in there, we hit Tools and References. And the References library shows up in a dialog box here. Now, when we look closer at that dialog box, we see that there are 4 default libraries that are already checkmarked. And all the checkmarked libraries, the selected ones, will be at the top of the list. So going through each one of them, the Visual Basic for Applications object or library contains the necessary items to work with your Visual Basic, to access your computer's file systems, to perform math functions, and to do various interactions just in all your VBA code. It provides all the tools and drivers in order to do that. The next thing is the Access 16.0 object library. That one provides objects that are used to display data and work with the Microsoft application. It's your basic object set in order to function as a database and as a database engine. So the next thing we see is the Olay Automation that's checked. Now, Microsoft Access is a COM component that supports automation. Formerly, it was called Olay Automation when they called it object linking and embedding. Then it was expanded much more than just object linking. So now really it's a whole suite of automation tools that allow you to perform various functions. Access supports automation in 2 ways. For Microsoft Access, you can work with objects supplied by another component, and Access also supplies its objects to other COM components so that they can work with Access. The next one is the Microsoft Office 16.0 Access Data Engine object library. It's an enhanced version of the DAO object library. This allows you to work with all the data sets in your VBA code. It allows you to open record sets, create record sets. It actually allows you to do anything that a user or developer would do when that developer is working to create tables or create queries or actually execute queries or forms or do various functions within your VBA code. This library is used when you open Access in the default Access format of ACCDB for the later since Access 2007 versions. Now, let's get on to the idea of that missing library. In order to get access to Oracle, SQL Server, or Teradata, or other databases, you need to have a version called ADO. So ADO allows you to embed ActiveX Data Objects into your system. And in order to get to that, you literally have to go to your references library. You scroll down to Microsoft ActiveX Data Objects library, click that check mark and click OK, and you have the set all set up. Now, I'm opening the references library there again so you can once again see that it is now added to the list at the very top in order to show you that now we have 5 items that are set within our references library. Now I have the freedom to use DAO or ADO to access any data set either on my computer in Access or in another type of database. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've enjoyed it well enough that you could hit that like button and get it out to even more people if you thought it was valuable. And consider subscribing to the channel. It will really help us out and help us to create more content for you in the future. Good to see you. Thanks.